Padmanam Jayastu. Do you want to start with Shri Guru Charana Padma? Page 74, I think. How old are you? 9. You're 9. You're tall for your age, huh? Are you? Are you in your class? Are you taller than a lot of your friends? Yeah. I would think you're more like, I think 11 or 12. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma after the next page. Ule Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagada Hidase Koruna Koli.
Oh he Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagada Hidase Koruna Koli. Iya Padataya Shodhaye Amare. Iya Padataya Shodhaye Amare. Iya Padataya Shodhaye Amare. Iya Padataya Shodhaye Amare. Tomara Charana Jodi. Daya Begadomi Daya Gurashodi Daya Guna Daya Begadomi Daya Doshashodi Daya Guna Dehodashe. Daya Satsanga Dehoye Amare. Daya Satsanga Dehoye Amare. Daya Satsanga Dehoye Amare. Daya Satsanga Dehoye Amare. Boshechi Shangerayashe. Ekaki Amare Naitaye Bodo Hare Rama Ekaki Amare Naitaye Bodo Hare Rama Tumi kripa kori Shadha bindu diya. Tumi kripa kori Shadha bindu diya. Tumi kripa kori Shadha bindu diya. Deho Krishna Tumi kripa kori Shadha bindu diya. Deho Krishna Namadhare. Krishna se toma Krishna se toma Krishna vive paro tomara shakati ate. Ami to ganga Krishna Krishna boli. Ami to ganga Krishna Krishna boli. Ami to ganga Krishna Krishna boli. Jai Sabo Bate Ami to ganga Krishna Krishna boli. Jai Sabo Bate Ami Jai Sabo Bate Krishna Dana Baba Rase. Jai Sabo Bate Krishna Dana Baba Rase. Jai Sabo Bate
What is your native language?
Gujarati.
Gujarati. So the Bengali is quite unfamiliar, is it?
Sorry?
Is the Bengali quite unfamiliar?
Yeah, very. It's like two very different.
Completely
languages,
different, yeah.
So I can understand things like Hindi. That's like they can pick up.
Aha, you're more familiar with Hindi.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes people, they think it's strange we sing Bengali. But actually it's not a point of, it's the language is not the point. The point is that this is how they happen to come out, you know. So if they came out, like this is like what came from the heart of these saints. You know? So if it came in Tamil, we would sing in Tamil. If it came in French, we would sing in French. But somehow it came in Bengali. Then we have a few songs that are Sanskrit, but for the most part.
So do you speak Bengali?
Well, I mean, not really. I lived in Bengal for a long time, so I picked up a little bit. I mean, these songs are actually in what's called Sadhu Basya. I don't know if you're familiar. This is like more of an old-fashioned kind of Bengali. Like these songs, I can more or less follow them. Yeah. And do you speak Gujarati too?
Yeah.
Do you pick it up?
Well, it's like because we sing these songs regularly.
She studied Bengali actually.
Yeah, but
she can type and she can read Bengali. Yeah. None of the Sripidis here.
I can keep it up. So
You look like you're like one of these European
also,
backpackers. You look like a backpacker.
Hey, I don't know how to face.
Don't put your feet towards someone. You can. It's difficult. In one place, our Guru Srila, she says, in the spiritual world we have to walk on our head, because even the soil is higher than ourselves. So we feel like that in the temple sometimes.
Yeah.
Everywhere is sacred. So. So I see you brought out your things. Brilliant. So you got to stay for like the full week.
Yes.
You've brought enough to last a couple weeks, I think.
Well, no, I haven't been able to do laundry, so I just kind of
are you staying for a couple of days?
a week.
She's got to.
Just kind of like
Well,
I was so this is like I was assuming that would be connecting with Sridhar Maharaj.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna do that for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So I'm doing it, and
Are we live streaming?
Sorry.
Oh, since how long?
When she came.
We've been live streaming all this time. Oh my goodness! Now you tell.
No. Sorry.
Okay, well, that's embarrassing. I hope I didn't say anything. bad.
No. I wasn't sure I checked.
Yeah, they see now
Yeah.
the blue light.
Yeah.
Okay. You better mind your P's and Q's. Then, do you want to sing one more song?
Actually, I'm gonna do a little bit of a different one. 156. Ooh. Manasa deho geho yogi chumora pilo uya pade nanaki manasa deho geho yogi chumora uya pade
your name? What's your name again?
Sia.
Sia. Sia, can you read the English there for the song we just sang?
The English bits. You can. You're so good at singing, you can read the translation too.
Be confident.
Yeah.
Are you confident reading? You're comfortable?
I'll try. Try.
It's all about trying.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Anything with me. What's that? Anything with me. Yeah. Okay. Mind, body, and family, whatever may be mine.
Say it more loudly so they can hear you.
Okay, nice and loud, okay? Mind, body, and family, whatever may be mine, I have surrendered at your lotus feet, O youthful son of Nanda. In good fortune...
Wait. So, Sia, do you know who that is? Who is the youthful son of Nanda? Who is that?
Nanda's
Do you know what the word youthful means?
No.
Youthful means young. So, who is Nanda? Do you know who is Nanda? Who is the young son and who is the son of Nanda? Can you guess? Take a wild guess.
Yeah, just throw it out there.
I'll give you a clue. His color is like the sweater that you're wearing.
Krishna.
Yes. Very good. So Krishna's father is called Nanda Maharaj, and his mother, and you remember the name of Krishna's mother? Yashoda. And also Yasomati, or Jashamati. Okay, carry on.
In good fortune or in bad, in life or at death. All my difficulties have disappeared by choosing those feet of yours as my only shelter. Slay me or protect me as you wish, for you are the master of your eternal servant. If it is your will that I be born again, then may it be in the home of your devotee. May I be born again, even as a worm, as long as I may remain your devotee. I have no desire to be born as a Brahma, adverse to you.
So who is Brahma? You know who that is? He has 4 heads. He's the creator. He's the creator of the world. So he has the number 1 job. He has the number 1, the top position in this world. So this devotee is saying, I'd rather be born as a worm, I'd rather be an insect in the home of your devotee than to have the best life in this world, but without the devotees. It's a big thing to say, isn't it? So what do we learn from that? That the most valuable what is the most valuable thing, according to the writer of the song? Is being in a comfortable life the most important thing?
Yeah. No.
He's saying to be with Krishna's devotees is the most important thing.
In the devotee. What is Sia's asking what is
someone
Jai.
A devotee means someone who loves Krishna. Someone who loves Krishna. And a very nice person. So you're a devotee of Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to continue?
Mm-hmm. I yearn for the company of the
Yearn
devotee.
means like I want, I desire.
I yearn for the company of the devotee completely devoid of all desires for worldly enjoyment or liberation. Father, mother, lover, son, lord, preceptor, and husband, you are everything to me. Bhakti Vinod says, O Krishna, please hear me. O Lord of Radha, you are my life and soul.
All right. Well, so tomorrow is very important day.
She is asking what day it is.
What day it is tomorrow? Well, tomorrow is a festival for our grandfather, for remembering our grandfather Guru. So you see these pictures on the wall here? So he's like our grandfather Guru. He's the Guru of our Guru. And tomorrow we are remembering him. It's actually the day that he left the world, because we honored the great saints, the great devotees. We remember them on the day that they were born, their birthday, but we also remember them on the day that they left. And I know it might sound a little strange, but the reason is because they don't die, actually. They are eternally living. So it is not like when we lose someone in this world, we understand their body was temporary, and their personality, it was a temporary personality. It was not who they really were in their soul. But when these divine, very holy, great persons leave, they are leaving with their spiritual nature. They are not changing their nature. They are showing their spiritual nature, and they are continuing with their spiritual nature when they leave this world. So in that sense, there's no change. And the example is given sometimes of the rising and the setting of the sun. So in the nighttime, when we don't see the sun, has the sun died? No. What happened to the sun? Do you know? Well, the sun went somewhere else. So when it's nighttime here, it's daytime in California, in America. The sun is in another part of the world. So these great saints, when they are not in front of us, it doesn't mean they've gone, it just means they're somewhere else. They're not in front of our eyes, but they're in another place, and others can see them. So, of course, there is sadness on these days, because we think, on this day we lost their company. But it is a sadness that is mixed with happiness. There's a mixture of feeling there. And the most important thing about these days is that they are an opportunity for us to remember them, to glorify them, to talk about them, and to receive their mercy, because we need their mercy. The mercy of the great souls, it is the most valuable thing in our lives. Because we are human beings, and as human beings in this material world, we have many options before us, right? Like in your school, you see, maybe there are the good kids and there are the bad kids, right? So this world that we live in, and there are the cool kids, and there are the nerdy kids, and etc., etc. Hello, Vishnu Priya. You look very beautiful. You look like a princess. So you see, this is a very mixed world, right? Good things happen, bad things happen. There are good people, there are bad people. And everyone has choices, right? You have choices. And this is something that your teachers will talk about, especially when you get a bit older. Because when you're young, the choices you make are very important because they will decide the rest of your life. They can do. They will greatly affect the course of your life as a whole. So the choices, they will determine our future. The choices that we make, they determine our future. So, and the choices that we make, they will affect who we are as human beings, as people. And the people who we associate, the people that we hang out with, let's say, are very important to consider because we become like the people who we hang out with. Is that something that you've noticed? Maybe with your friends? Like their personality, maybe it will change if they're with a different group of people. If they're with one kind of person, then their personality will go like this. If they're with another kind of person, their personality will go like that. So we are like very flexible and we can go in many different ways. But this human life is so valuable because we have the opportunity to not only live a good and honest life in this world and experience wonderful things in this world, but we have the opportunity to discover the eternal self, the soul within us, because this body will die, right? We know that. You know that already. Nobody's hiding that from you. You're old enough to know we're going to die. No. But we believe, and the scriptures tell us, the saints tell us, that when the body dies, there's a part of us that still lives. That is called the soul, the Atma in Sanskrit. Maybe you heard your parents mention that word, the Atma. So this body, it is like a cover. Just like here, there's water inside, and outside there's a glass and a plastic cover. But the most valuable substance is the water, right? So in the same way, our body is like a cover, and inside of the cover is the soul. So the human birth is very fortunate because we have the opportunity, we have the chance to find out who that soul is, to feel that soul, to give that, to awaken that soul, and to live our eternal lives. Because the soul is eternal, but the body, it is temporary. The body will die. So the great souls, these saints like Srila Sridhar Maharaj, who we are remembering tomorrow, they have so much spiritual power. They have so much spiritual knowledge, spiritual consciousness. Even when they're not physically present, they can still bless us. And when they bless us, it can help us not only to become better people, but they can help to awaken that soul within ourselves. So these days are very special for us. And actually, this coming month, there are many important days. Like, can you think of any special festival that's coming soon? Is it your birthday coming? Okay. Well, that's a special day. Oh, okay, I'll give you a clue. Yeah, it's the son of Nanda again. So, yeah, you remember what it's called, Krishna's birthday? Janmashtami. So Krishna's birthday is coming, Radharani's birthday, Baladev's birthday, and many other birthdays, they are coming. So it's a very, more than any other time in the year, actually. There's many different festivals.
BYI's birthday is also coming.
Also, the birthday of this community here is coming. So it is a very special time when we can remember all of these we can remember the Lord and all of these great saints, and we can pray to them for mercy, so we can make more progress, we can improve, and we can grow in our spiritual lives. So that is tomorrow. And I was thinking, I was thinking maybe to read a few, unless someone has has a request. I was thinking to read a few verses from. We have, on the Samadhi Mandir of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, we have those verses that Gurudev selected. And I was thinking maybe to read a few of those verses. I was trying to remember this verse a few days ago from the Padma Purana, Nama Chintamani Krishnas. You know this verse. Purna. Purna Shuddho. Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Binatvan Nama Namina. Yeah. Nama Chintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Binatvan Nama Namina. Can you explain that verse?
No.
No, I mean, you're familiar enough with the language, right? So this is a verse Srila Sridhar Maharaj he liked very much. We have a temple in India, in Bengal, in Navadvip, which is dedicated to Srila Sridhar Maharaj. And his beloved disciple, our Gurudev, he put around the temple all of the favorite prayers, all the favorite verses of Srila Sridhar Maharaj. It's such a wonderful meditation, because it's like, Gurudev's offering to Srila Sridhar Maharaj. So you're feeling the connection of Srila Sridhar Maharaj here, all the things these verses that he appreciated, and also you're feeling Gurudev's connection here because it was like what he personally selected and offered to Srila Sridhar Maharaj. I used to feel that also about Srila Sridhar Maharaj's veranda in Navadvip, because devotees they would get very excited about going to Srila Sridhar Maharaj's veranda, and but for me it was a little different. Like what I felt there is like this is the place of pastimes of Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj together. Like it was where they had so much exchange, together. So it's like I feel like in one way Gurudev's more present there because like his, he expressed his heart, so much in service to Srila Sridhar Maharaj. So we feel, of course, Srila Sridhar Maharaj's presence is there, but also Gurudev's presence is very much there. And Gurudev, we can also mention, Gurudev, it's very exemplary for us because, this expression, well, maybe I shouldn't, I'll get myself in trouble, but I'll just say it like this, that Gurudev was cautious about going there, actually. Like after Srila Sridhar Maharaj left, Gurudev was very cautious because he felt like this is Srila Sridhar Maharaj's place of personal bhajam. And actually there's a recording when because in the beginning Gurudev would give initiations there, as you know. Maybe like Vishakha, Bhakti Lalita, a few devotees, they had their initiation there in that front room. You did too? Oh my God. Wow. How old? You must have been like 5 years old.
I don't know exactly.
You don't remember it?
It was a little older.
Yeah, like maybe 8. Yeah.
Okay. So that would have been like 91 or 92, 93.
Yeah, 7.
Okay, 91 was it? 92.
91 I was 6 and 92.
92. Okay. I also had initiation that time, like 91,
Yeah.
91, 92 in Mexico.
Second initiation also.
Really?
Yeah.
To you?
Yeah.
Wow.
At that time.
I think in the same time, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so it was for some years he was still giving initiations there. But he made this comment like after Srila Sridhar Maharaj left, he didn't enter the room for a few months, and then he finally entered. Maybe it was like in October. Srila Sridhar Maharaj left in August, and I think maybe Gurudev was speaking in October. And then he said, like, I'm only coming here for my service. You know, like this is Guru Maharaj's place. I'm only coming here for service. You know, for no other reason. He had that like such a deep mood of respect, which is quite extraordinary if we consider he was an intimate servitor of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, so deeply trusted by Srila Sridhar Maharaj, but Gurudev still had that such a deep feeling of regard and respect, and like, I'm not on the level, you know. And then, you know, like devotees were enthusiastic to go there, and Gurudev would go along with it, you know, but sometimes and allow them, but sometimes he would say something, actually. Like Yudamanyu Prabhu, he said that someone took him up there once. This is when I was there. It was not long, like a few years before Gurudev left, perhaps. And somebody took Yudamanyu Prabhu up, and I think Gurudev was in Calcutta. And then Yudamanyu Prabhu mentioned to Gurudev, oh, I went, so-and-so took me up there. And Gurudev said to him, you went there? Like wow. Like you had some confidence to go there, you know? And Yudamanyu was very surprised. He didn't go after that, you know? Like, he understood Gurudev was showing some sentiment there, you know? And Yudamanyu is like, you know, a dear, close follower of Gurudev, so Gurudev, like, he showed his heart to him. So, you know, I'm just like speaking stream of consciousness here now. There's no order. But, you know, one thing that just blows my mind that Sarvabhavana Prabhu told me once, that he asked Gurudev once, what's your favorite memory of Guru Maharaj? And the answer just blew my mind. He said Gurudev told him, thinking of how Guru Maharaj would wait for me at the bus stop. Isn't that so profound? Yeah. Like when Gurudev was in Calcutta and he was coming back, and Srila Sridhar Maharaj would sometimes wait for him at the bus stop. Gurudev said that was his favorite memory. Like it's just, you could just meditate on that for a full day. It's like that mood of separation, you know. It's more striking to the heart, you know. And there's that sense of longing, like wanting to be with that person and being separated. It's so profound.
So sweet.
They were inseparable, you know. They were inseparable.
Vishakha in that article you sent me, that transcript that Gurudev was saying something like, oh, I was very close with Guru Maharaj. I could tell him anything. And I said, why did you say this? And it's quite amazing to read about that. I don't know if you remember that part.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Saying that closeness.
Yes.
And it's not disrespectful in the slightest. And it's like, wow.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because it's interesting because like they had that intimacy and that closeness, but at the same time, Gurudev had this profound, you know, regard and honor at the same time. We were just discussing that, like an example of going the other way. So, like, even though he had that type of intimacy, it's not that, like, the relationship was less, like, because of familiarity or anything like that, you know. But yeah, that side is also very beautiful, you know. I mean, like Gurudev, he could tell Srila Sridhar Maharaj what to do, you know. Like it was that type of dynamic between them, you know. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Gurudev mentioned how when Guru Maharaj was here, like my position was much stronger, actually, because I was running the temple like an autocrat. Because whatever I would do, Guru Maharaj would back me. Like, Srila Sridhar Maharaj would tell everyone, you follow whatever Govinda Maharaj says, you know. And like even sometimes he would go so far as to say, you know, like if I say one thing and Govinda Maharaj says something else, then you do what Govinda Maharaj says, you know. So he said, you know, like in that Guru Maharaj's time, my position was much stronger, you know, like. And they said, but after Guru Maharaj left, then things had to run more like a democracy. You know, like I have to consult with everyone. I have to like butter everybody up, please everybody. And in that position of acharya is very difficult because you have to be like this benevolent father and you can't get angry, you can't be angry, you know. Gurudev preferred to be like the bad cop, you know, like people play bad cop, good cop. Like, because running a mission is like that. Like you need the manager who's kind of like the bad guy, who's like has to do the dirty work and like tell people what to do. And you know, people complain, oh, the manager's telling me to do this and to do that. And you have to like get involved in situations where, you know, you're not going to win a popularity contest, you know, because you have to like tell people the rules and set the standard. So. But then the one person like in the position of like the preacher or the guru, the acharya, like they're meant to like stay aloof from the management and the practical affairs, and they're just like dispensing spiritual teachings, affection, mercy, and like that. So it's like more of a cushy role, you know. But Gurudev preferred the other way, you know. He preferred to have like the tough job and. Because Gurudev wanted to run the mission in a particular way, and he didn't care if people liked him or not. He didn't care.
Everyone loved him.
Yeah. But I'm speaking within the context of the Navadvip, like temple, like running things there. You know, like when Gurudev would come out to the West, it was different because we were just seeing that persona of like the acharya and like purely connecting with that on that spiritual basis. But within the context of like running things in the mission in India, Navadvip, Gurudev had that attachment like to running the temple in the way that he wanted and he knew Guru Maharaj would like. And Madhusudana Maharaj, he said that Gurudev, he expressed like, now I'm in this chair, I have to bite my arm. Because like sometimes I want to say something to people, but I can't, you know. So I have to bite my arm. But it's interesting just to contemplate that, because if I look at myself, like I would choose the opposite, you know. And I can say also, like, I've been in the position of a manager, you know. And now I'm just really speaking very like, you know, personal here. But, you know, like in India, I had that role of a manager, and that was what I found very difficult, like dealing with conflicts and having to be unpopular sometimes and having to, like, you know, address issues with people and tell people what to do sometimes. It's a very uncomfortable position to be in, you know. But now I'm like in the role of a preacher, and I can just like stay aloof to all of these things and just be like a friendly visitor, you know? And I much prefer this. I much prefer it. Like not get involved in those things and all of these complicated things, you know. So I really like because I've had that practical experience, it makes me appreciate that mood of Gurudev's even more. Like he really didn't care about like what kind of position he had or how much people liked him or didn't like him. Like he just wanted to do the service, you know. He just wanted to serve his Guru Maharaj, you know, in an authentic way. So it is, you know, very, very admirable. Tomorrow we're honoring our Param Guru, our grandfather Guru. Maybe you heard already. You heard, okay, Srila Sridhar. So we're remembering something about the history in the Mat. The mission started in our mission started in India in a had very small, very humble beginnings, very, very small. But then after Swami Maharaj Prabhupada left, then many of his followers, they came to take shelter of Srila Sridhar Maharaj. So that was how our mission started to become more connected with the Western world, and it, just kind of naturally expanded and like that. But it's interesting because Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he started the mission in 1942, and actually his nature was very, how can we say? His nature was that he wanted to practice spiritual life in a very authentic way. And he was never interested in making a big mission. Or in his younger years, he was active in the mission of his guru, and he preached all throughout India. But then later, after his Guru Maharaj left, he just wanted to kind of retire in a sense and just, carry on with his personal practice in a quiet way. But he received this inspiration from Nityananda, who is the principal associate and companion of Chaitanya Dev. And he gave him this inspiration, you received so much mercy from your Guru Maharaj, and you cannot be selfish and just keep that to yourself. You have to share that with others. And so Sridhar Maharaj, he received this instruction from Nityananda, and so he decided, okay, I'm not going to go out and canvas people and try and make a big mission. I'll just establish a small mission, and whoever comes to me, then I will give them some shelter. Because actually in the beginning, he refused many people. Like people would come to him, including Prabhupada's sister even. She came to him for initiation at one time, but he sent her to one of his godbrothers. So he literally was turning people away, He didn't want to be in any kind of position. But then he came to realize this was a duty he had to take up. So he started his mission in a small way. But it's interesting because we have a photograph, this small thatched hut, how he began. But what's interesting is that this is Ratha Yatra, 1942. So this time of year around. So he started with this very small place, and one of his godbrothers donated the funds to buy a small piece of land. But what's interesting is that at that time, he had this inspiration to compose this verse, a Sanskrit shloka, describing the ideals of this mission. Shrimat Chaitanya Saraswata Matavar Udgita Kirtir Jayasham Bibrat Sambati Ganga Tata Nikata Kola Dwipa Nabadvipa Kola Jiraje and Yatra Shigor Saraswata. No, that's the first one. Yatra Shigor Nirata Gorgata Grananti Nityam Rupanuga Kritamati Ugranga Radhaji Tasha. Maybe we got a few words wrong. And the verse starts out saying, this mat, I don't know if you know the word mat. Mat means like a monastery, So this mat, it is the best of all mats. Matavada, Shri Chaitanya Saraswata Matavada. It is the best of all mats. And Udgita Kirtir Jayashrim, describing this victory flag that flies high above this mat, spreading the glories of, chant Udgita, Udgita Kirtir, in a very profound and broad way, spreading the kirti, the glories of this mat, which is the best of all mats, this victory flag is the renown of this mat is spreading far and wide, And then it goes on to say, the members of this mission, they are following the line of Sri Chaitanya Dev and worshipping Radha Krishna, like along these lines. But it's very curious how he started the verse, like describing this mat as this very grand, place, and some of his godbrothers, they teased him a little bit, like, you have this small little like thatched hut, and he also purchased this very expensive bamboo pole, which to us that doesn't mean very much, like an expensive bamboo pole, okay. But at that time, in that context, that was something. This is 1942, so this was something impressive. It sounds silly now. So some of his godbrothers, they commented, "Oh, he's purchased this very expensive bamboo pole, and he's hoisted this flag, and he's written this like big fancy verse describing how great this mat is, and where." Is he living in reality? Like, is he in... But he was seeing like the future glory of the mat, And eventually, the now like that temple in India became like very beautiful, very grand, very glorious. And then eventually it did spread around the world, like, 50 years later. So he was seeing, in the future what it would be. And our Gurudev, he mentioned to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, oh, so-and-so, he's making this comment. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj told our Gurudev, oh, if he is present in the future, he will see, he will see what will be. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, you were going to say something?
Maybe you can explain something of the particular importance and wonderfulness what this flag can supposes for the world. What is it that it is given?
Well, I mean the gift of Sri Chaitanya Dev, I guess I would say. What would you say? Hey, is it Sarah? No. Sophie, okay. Nice to see you, Sophie.
I would say the importance of going through life with utmost humility and tolerance and giving honor to others, not expecting any other honor for yourself, and while serving, while surrender, and being very grateful that this has come into your life, and that this practicing of humility and tolerance and respect to others, that you in that way, in surrender and service, that you can connect with the Lord in a way that is progressive, and the soul can find its ultimate purpose in that, and the soul can bloom and be can awake and in a very beautiful way, because also how Guru Maharaj speaks and Govinda Maharaj speaks, it has so much deep profundity and sweetness that the soul becomes very happy in this practicing life, and while chanting the holy name, of course, in congregation. So, teaching us the prospect, what is available for us to live a very blissful and happy life. No doubt there are so many difficulties, but the given how we can overcome these difficulties, and also sometimes when there's difficulties expected from us. I found that very nice from Srila Maharaj. Like, if you come if you are confronted with a difficulty, then more sacrifice is requested from you. So through more sacrifice and being quiet and adjust to the situation, harmonize with the situation. In that way, yeah, that's a beautiful path, a beautiful journey towards absolute good.
Well, maybe that's a good note to end on. It's maybe time for arti now.
Yeah, okay.
Anyone who wants to know more, tune in tomorrow. Hey, Sophie. Hi. Very nice to see you. You're just in time for the kirtan.
Oh.
Look at that beautiful skirt. Did somebody give that to you?
Saraswati's sister.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Shri Vishakha Devi ki. We'll have an arati now.